Peace gang, welcome back to our data science bootcamp. Right now, you guys are tuned into a data science preview of the bootcamp. So this is a freebie one-off course that I am demonstrating to you guys. All right, so welcome back to my students who are actually enrolled in the program, and welcome to the preview to my viewers who are just getting a preview of the bootcamp. All right, so I'm going to jump in for my students. If you guys have any questions as far as the people who are watching the preview, go see some of the previous videos if you're a little fuzzy. All right, cool. So what I wanted to go over right now with my students is going over a real business use case that you will get on the job. The boot camp is very career centric and very project centric, so that you get real projects, like working with like very real companies, so you can build your resume. Now, in this particular case, this is a complete faux company. This does not exist whatsoever. Expert Data Solutions is saying that they're being hired by this faux company that does not exist at all. Okay, so what I want to do now, guys, is go into the use case of like what they've observed so far. So what we discussed is the fact that expert logistics solutions, they've invited expert data solutions, they've invited some of their staff out to make some observations, to take some interviews so that they can identify like what their current process is and like, and areas for improvement. All right. So this is what the observation is so far. So this is what like initially what happened. A lot of times you guys wouldn't necessarily be visiting in person. You would just have the data. You would get information that tells the story. So let's just jump into this. All right. So here, first of all, guys, what I like to do is I drew a photo. This really helps me visually. Like visually, when I like draw out a photo, it really helps me like later on when I'm trying to solve a problem and like thinking back on like, okay, this is exactly what happened. Here are like actors, here are our units, here are our labels, here's our belt, here are our actors. Did I already say that? So just like drawing out like what's happening, like really like helps me. So let's just jump into this use case. Okay, it says Expert Logistics Solutions needs to improve load time efficiency. So they've invited the XDX team to take observations and interviews. So here's what the team has observed so far. I'll read that in a second. The team is running an experiment to test whether making change X will improve load time efficiency. So basically, what they want to do is 5x the number of packages that they're able to sort in a particular shift. So let's get some more information for a second. So let's say, for example, where do we have that information? Okay, so let's say that the team came out and that they observed the following: that on average, that they have like a 5 hour sort shift, and that as of right now, that their warehouse is able to sort and load 2,000 packages in a 5 hour sort. So 5 hours is 300 minutes. So if they're able to sort 2,000 packages in 300 minutes, that's about 6.67 packages per minute. So that's their current sort speed. This is complete faux results. This is not real results whatsoever. But the point is, when you have a formula in place, it'll allow you to plug in the real numbers. So if you happen to be a logistics company, you could just like plug in your numbers here. But these are complete made up numbers. All right, guys. So here's the goal. So the goal is to 5x the number of packages sorted per minute over the next 3 months by implementing. So remember we said you're going to implement that little thing, whatever they decide to implement. So once that team that we talked about gets together and rolls out this new data product over the next 3 months, they're hoping to 5x the number of packages that they can load in a 5 hour sort. So the goal, so sort and load 33 packages per minute, or 33 packages per minute. So that's the 5x. So right now they're doing 6.67. A 5x of that is around 33. So instead of loading around 6 packages per minute, they want to be able to load about 3 packages per minute or 9,900 packages over a 5 hour sort shift by implementing load efficiencies in one or more of the identified areas, which I'm going to go over in a second. Just checking my time. Okay, so where did this 9,900 go? So as of right now, they're able to do 2,000 packages per minute. So if they improve their load efficiency to doing 33 packages per minute, then they'll be able to, sorry, not per minute. As of right now, they're able to load around 2,000 packages in total over a particular sort, right? Over a 5 hour shift. If they were to improve their sort and load efficiency per their requirements, they'd be able to now load, sort and load around 9,000 packages in a particular sort shift, which is around 5 hours. All right. Same time frame, but able to sort and load 5 times the amount of packages from before. All right. And they're hoping to do that by improving efficiency in one or more areas identified. So let's just go to the areas that they've identified. So let's say that the data team took some notes. All right. And we said that it takes in total 5 hours for this entire process to happen and that 2,000 packages are happening. So let's look at our belt. All right. So on this belt are were packages. So I'm not going to go too much into detail, but packages are essentially coming down here. And then you also have some packages coming up here. Actually, now that I think about it, this would not be here. This will strictly be big packages. And I doubt that yet. This might be there, but that would not be there. That would be there. Okay. So essentially, this is how this goes. There's some packages coming from some place that we're going to leave out of this equation for this particular problem. They're coming down a belt. And then you have some bigger packages coming up the belt. They reach this point, right? They're semi-sorted at this point. So let's say there are 2 types of uh, categories of packages that could exist, period. And the first initial sort happens before it even reaches this destination. And let's say that at this destination, another sort happens. And let's say there are certain packages that get placed on this side for some said reason, and other packages that get placed on this side for another said reason. So that's their next kind of like line of sorting. The final sorting happens here. So you have some actors that are responsible for loading the packages onto the units. And according to the label of the package, this particular package will belong to different units. So for example, all of these say the same thing, but this might be in -1 truck, and this is the truck that it goes to. Okay. And moreover, there would be more numbers that says like, okay, not only does it go in this truck, but this is where it should be located in the truck. All right, so that's the process that XDX has made note of so far. So that's the process of their sorting, right? So to review one more time, there's one like I guess main sort that happens that puts it in category A and category B. And let's say that this isolated area here is just for category Bs. So at this time, these are just category Bs, right? So category Bs are coming down. And then there are certain other category Bs that are coming up this way. All right. So they're going to meet here. And then you have 2 actors here that are going to perform the next sort. So there are certain types of packages that go on this side and certain type of packages that go on that side. And it's because they belong to a respective vehicle that's going to go out and finally deliver it. All right. So all of the packages that are going to go out to these vehicles are going to get sorted to this side, and all the packages that are going to go out to these units are going to get sorted, are going to get split to this side. So they're going to get split further right here. All right. And then the final split happens as the packages are coming down the belt. You have the actors that are going to actually load the packages to the vehicles. They look at the numbers and see which is their truck, and they put it onto the truck. And further, they would have four numbers here that tells them where in the truck they're supposed to load it. All right. So let's say that that's their process, and that's what Expert Data Solutions has observed, right? And that's the process that we are trying to improve. So let's say, like I said, as of now, for them to load and sort 2,000 packages, let's say as of right now, that takes them 5 hours, right? And what they're trying to do is reduce the time that it takes and or 5x the number of packages that they can do in a single sort. All right, that is their goal. That's why they've hired XDX. So they've hired them to identify areas in their process where they can improve their efficiency in the sorting and loading process. Um, they've hired them to do that. They've hired them to also create business intelligence dashboards to track the performance. And finally, they've hired them to package the solution together as a new data product that they can offer to their competitors. All right, guys. So this is the project that you guys are going to build in this bootcamp. I hope you guys have enjoyed this preview. The only other thing I'm going to show you are like the assumptions that we're starting with and what the team would learn and pretty much how we would go about testing out better like efficiencies. So let's say that as they have like observed this process, here are some of the pain points or like places that they can like be improved. So let's say they interview some of the actors in this as well as like just watching the process and just based on the interviews and based on their involvement, this is what they've like noticed as far as like some of the pain points. So handling heavy packages. So you guys will notice that like these packages are different sizes. These are the like really heavy packages. So they've noticed that the workers or some of the actors really say that they have a difficulty with handling the heavier packages. So that could be an area that they look into that could improve efficiency. We don't know, but we can check that out. Label visibility. So as we went over, guys, there are various points where these packages are sorted and split, and the labeling can be different on different packages. And while these all look the same here, they're actually very different. So locating the label on the package can take time, and like locating them so that they can scan the package, that could take time. So that's something that they notated. Um, Load organization. So some of the vehicles, some of them have shelves, some of them do not have shelves. And what we want to know from the actors is it easier or more difficult for them to do the loading process when vehicles have shelves versus don't have shelves? And the other thing is I heard, let's say that they heard the actors say that like they oftentimes have to wait before they can load the units because they quote don't know what they're gonna get. Meaning based on I guess right now, how the organization or placement of the packages go, maybe some units can share a space. And based on what units you get, you may not be able to fit different packages in, just depending. So I won't go into the deep interwebs of that, but they definitely notated, quote, quote, like you don't know what you're gonna get. So and them not knowing that it's difficult for them to like go ahead and load and organize. All right, so the last thing I'm going to show you guys is this is a visual. So let's just say that they made a pie chart to just like demonstrate like the distribution of where the time is spent since our job is to optimize time, right? So we need to identify areas that's like sucking up time. Again, these are complete faux numbers, but if we were to look at this graph, it looks like that the loading time and the reading time are the ones that are sucking up the most time. So those would probably be areas that we look into and find out, like, okay, what's happening here and what's like a minimum viable product, an MVP. What is something that like really, really small that we could do that could possibly make a big impact. All right. And once we test these things out again, we will work with the teams to create dashboards and to package this into a data product and to actually market this. All right. So if I've gotten your attention and you guys are interested in joining our boot camp, the information will be in the description, or you guys can just visit www.lemonsqueeze-marketing.com and you guys will be able to find all of this information. Coming soon, Xpert Data Solutions will have its own website, but for now, check it out there. You guys can check the link is also in the bio of our YouTube. All right. I'll see you guys in the next tutorial. Peace.